Good morning, world, and present participants here for the Be the Light meditation. There's a lot going on, even though it feels like there's a little bit of a pause between emergencies. In other words, the pandemic is kind of coming to a slow skid, like it's coming in, it's going to be in the garage, and then down goes the door. So that won't be running around anymore. But the energies are continuing to move us and lift us, and sometimes come in with such a tremendous uh, um, shaking up. And it does, based on a lot of the astrological things, the eclipses, the solar flares, and then your own astrology, where it hits what's happening with the moon and everything. So we're having a collective journey of accelerated higher vibration milieu, and you're having your own personal journey. So that's what I want to talk about today, is keeping your own personal journey in sync with the bigger divine plan. So you're not back here, or the divine plan is here and you're moving too fast and banging your head against the wall because other people and team members and everything are out of sync with you. So it's interesting. I just talked to a friend the other day who I've known for 30 years, and she was ready for the divine plan to move 30 years ago. But it has been, for some who've understood what is coming and how it's going to unfold, the important part of vibration, it's been torturously slow because the mass consciousness is so slow. Maybe they'll move forward a little bit and then they'll go back. And in fact, people have to hear something, 6 times before they can imagine the perceptions would change, that they can imagine this could be the truth. Some people hang their hat on science, and science doesn't know. Science sees miracles and tries to figure it out, and most of the figuring out is coming from the right brain, intuitive based, and then they prove it with their left brain. So many factors are keeping our own personal journey from moving forward for fear of being different and moving too fast. One time my sister told me, "Jen, I'm not sure what you do, but don't get so far ahead of us we can't see you." And that's kind of true, because as we start vibrating in a very high rate, we actually do disassemble our physical reality and go into light. Now, when I say something like that, I can feel that 93% of the population says, "Oh, Jan's crazy. She can say the safe stuff." But when she says that, I have to decide, and I might have to draw a curtain for her. And I hope she starts saying less scary things and doesn't talk about galactic things and different things, because frankly, it doesn't fit in with my reality, so I don't feel safe. Also, what I'm talking about is those around you. As you're expanding, you're going to have to test the water to see how much information they can take in, and it's all readiness. I have a sister, and I was told that certain brothers and sisters were going to go to the new paradigm and had chosen to go to the new paradigm, and that I was to help them. So, what a trick to see when they're ready. And one sister said one day, I guess she'd heard me say things long enough. Some of them I had said 3, 4, 5 times. And I even did healing with and on her. And when I would say, "Well, don't you remember we did that healing on your heart?" she would say, "I have no recollection." So she wasn't ready to even acknowledge the release of heart pain that she had had for many months due to a severe loss, that it just went like that. She couldn't make the connection that her sister could hold a high vibration and walk her through. And then she actually healed herself. I just told her the path. So this sister finally one night said, in the quiet hours we're watching TV, "I think I'm ready to learn what you know." And so I told her a few stories of different things that had happened. And I said, now, do you remember? I've told you this story at least 2 times. No recollection, zero. So we have to know, until people have ears to hear and eyes to see, they have to keep a veil there. Why? Because you're a heretic. You're someone who's bringing new, scary things. So imagine that you're a universal messenger. Well, you are. You're a universal galactic messenger. You're from somewhere else. And you're bringing little landmines of truth all the time that are making people, they're scared. They're afraid they're going to go into your field and something is going to disassemble their sense of reality. And at that point, they have to make themselves wrong or make you wrong, or make you a guru, make you the one that has the answers, and they put responsibility for their life on you. What's wrong with that picture? So our job as these messengers is to always use languaging that takes people right to the edge and makes them think, but they won't put you on a pedestal, which they'll kick you down the minute they don't heal and they've asked you for a healing. And of course, we know they're not ready to heal and take responsibility and make the changes and accept it in their soul and heart. So I have 2 little stories to tell about this. When I first started this work, there was a fellow named Peter. And I said, Peter, I left my marriage. I know I'm in the wrong movie and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And he said, in the future, you'll be on stages or speaking to people, and you'll be running energy powerfully. Some in the audience will get it and love it and they're ready, and the others will, frankly, be spooked and shut the curtain and be annoyed by you and write you off as a kook. And often those are the ones that come up after the talk and say, that was wonderful. And you're going to know. You're going to know who's lying and who's saying what. And you're going to feel like, have I done a disservice to my reputation? Have I hurt them by saying too much too soon? And Peter said, say what Spirit tells you to say and do not reference anyone's fear in the audience. Because later, people will come and say, I'm so glad you said that. Because when I did have an experience, that puzzle piece made all the difference. I knew I wasn't crazy. So he said, for those that are ready to hear it, you must say it, and the others will digest it. So therefore, as a messenger, you can't have any attachment to how people digest or receive or throw back the truth at you. So that's one story. The other story is when I worked with the women and I used all the tools and the metastatic cancer in her body, she was surrounded by 30 people loving her, helping her die. And she came to my center and they all said these beautiful things. And I could feel the unconditional love and vibration was in a place where she could choose to walk through the veil and accept and receive a healing that would then be simultaneous in her body. So I just did a little sound and this and that, and she stood up and she was perfect. And I said, how do you feel? And she said, perfect. I said, can you hold that thought? No other thought. So the doctor said it was spontaneous metabolic reversal or something. But then Spirit showed me, she started getting angry at me because she had a website called My Life with Cancer. And she got so much attention and love. And suddenly there was nothing. And people thought she was nuts. Maybe she was never sick at all. If she was well, if she was perfectly well. So Spirit told me, until she laid down the grievances that caused the physical disturbances, that this was just a little blip. And that, in fact, she would kick me off that pedestal for any reason at all. So I'm saying this because you are a truth sayer. You are taking in higher vibrations, which means your thoughts, your hands, your artwork, and your songs is radiating out light. So don't expect everybody's going to like it. Don't expect everybody's going to invite you or feel comfortable with it, okay? Jesus, what they do to him, heretic, martyr. Okay? We don't have to go there now. I'll tell you why. Because science, the quantum field, sympathetic entrainment, and even Caroline Corey's new movie, Superhuman Among Us, the other one is, her movies are stupendously bringing Harvard scientists, new thought leaders, and scientists together to say, yes, if you take a cell of a human and you put it in a petri dish 5 miles away, and this person has an emotional upset, the cell itself 5 miles away starts having a difficult time changing. What is it? It's resonance, collection, it's connection. It is the grid of vibrational energy that holds all of us together. So uh, those micro experiments are actually showing us the macro. And the macro we can take down to the micro. Your thoughts are micro, but they go into the macro. Everything is seamless and organized together. So back to this interesting thing of bringing something that is far out and bringing something different. And the reason I mention it is that it's humorous now, but in the last few weeks, people have asked me to speak, asked me to bring, and I always say I have to be able to say, it's a rule for me to speak. I can say whatever comes through, because why? Those that need to hear it need to hear it. And after I said the things, the facilitators both made a disclaimer. And a disclaimer means kind of what Jan said is just a little bit nuts, but they said it nice. Now, sometimes things are a little far out. Sometimes they're a little bit hard to believe. So, of course, make your own. And so I sit there and I say, at first, I'm like, what the? A disclaimer? I'm doing my job here. But then I remember to be patient, and that it's not about me and I have to do the job anyway. So think about some way in your life, and actually, we all have different roles. Your role might be different. Your bringing a higher vibration might be sustaining a beautiful note that actually goes like a disarming, it pulls the shield off people's hearts. Mine is teaching. Get on the bus, divine plan. You have a home out there, a galactic home. So that's mine. But we each have our own specific way. So in this meditation, we're going to reflect on, again, your unique journey towards full enlightenment and completion of the divine plan. And here we have the mass consciousness. And guess what? We want it all to sync up so we all arrive together. And that's why things are behind. Some have moved forward quickly and are holding it. Some are teachers, some are meditating, some are under the radar. And not everyone needs to be fully awake to fulfill their mission as to the different players involved. And I'll just come and say it. If I'm a cheerleader, I'm a cheerleader. I'm a train station person like this. So I need to be able to identify and see the various roles that people are playing related to and shown by their gifts. So many I meet are from the angelic realms. They're like sponges. They absorb everybody's feelings. They're usually musicians. They're always tired, out of kilter. Sometimes they have autoimmune. And then there's the galactic sound, light, and color people who just whoosh, bring beautiful technologies and color and know things. And they're just a little bit more immune to being so sensitive, but their nervous systems are very raw. Then there's the Melchizedeks, the great teachers. There's the archangels. We are all bringing in various, we are reflecting and presenting and bringing in various archetypes onto the planet now, which are humongously powerful, and signed up to help Earth transition and chose the body, chose Miriam, chose Johnny. I mean, chose you to be the voice, the hands, and the mouth of these great, great consciousness, and chose your family to teach you the lessons. So it's all perfect. Here you are, you're on your trajectory. So you can kind of know what type of being you are based on your gifts and what you like to do and what you feel comfortable with. And why do I always say this is important? Because if you know yourself and you know where you're from and what your gifts are, that's pretty darn powerful. You're so much more than just this physical self with your biological parents and what you know from this very contracted consensus reality. You know a lot more, and in fact, this is what you have. You can harness energy. You can focus and create what you need, and you can help and see other people and release the resistances to knowing who they really are and loving themselves. And if you're listening to this, you're a leader. You're initiating these changes. So isn't it a good idea to know as much as possible? Pull back those veils. Okay. So let's take a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth and consider your place in the journey right now. And just for fun, think of how far you've come. Think about the first time that you imagined that you're not in Kansas anymore and things aren't what they seem. That you had a vision, or you had some synchronicity, or some, oh my goodness, there's a whole different layer of reality. Maybe it was meditating on a sacred geometry, and suddenly you went through the veils and you could see the beautiful lacy-like grid around the planet that holds everything, and you could see your place in it. Maybe a divine being, a saint, Isis, Kuan Yin, Jesus is very popular. All of these high vibration divine beings who are teachers and here to assist you just slightly beyond the veil, maybe in meditation or in nature, or just specifically timed for you, for your path. Once, after my divorce, when I didn't know who I was, I read there was an experience by Rudolf Steiner that you are to just lay in the bed, flaccid, motionless, until the next volition, the next movement is related to your mission and your purpose on this world in this lifetime. And I remember I didn't have all the kids to take care of, flown the nest, no husband. I think I lay there for 3 days. And finally, a beautiful vision came because I let go of the role, of the burdens, the distractions that were keeping me from my true self. And this beautiful light, this vision, this mist came through my blinds. I wasn't trying to have a vision. I just couldn't move until I knew who I was. And this beautiful dark-haired woman in a white outfit came, and she stood in a beautiful circle, and there was a ceremony. And Spirit said, feel free to merge with this being because this is actually you. So think about your first moment when the curtain was pulled back and how that path laid before you, and it took courage. It still takes courage to grow and to think of these wild things, that you're actually just a visitor here holding this massive consciousness that can actually do magical things if you really focus. Yes, this too and more we shall do. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We put a beautiful holon of balance around each of our physical bodies. Only energies of the highest light may be in this space now. We remove everyone else's thoughts. We remove any emotional stories. And we ask and intend to see our own unique path from this specific moment. We take our attention into our heart and just take a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. We call in the spirit guides, the divine beings who do support and guide us in all times, simply by asking, and feel that high vibration presence and support around you now. We empty out our regular ego life story now. And we are remembering the first time we had the aha, the sense of awe and wonder as a state of grace came within our body, our mind, our heart, and our soul. And in that moment, we choose to keep finding that precious moment of grace that feels so elusive, but it is only one thought away. And the thought is, in this moment, all is well as I dwell in my authentic divine essence, my blueprint, my path. So let's take a little pledge. I ask and intend to bring in the vibration of trust in the timing of my personal awakening now. So the timing, remember, it is the big, think of the fanciest, biggest Swiss watch clockworks, a global, galactic, universal clockworks, of which there are so many moving, click, click, moving parts and circles. And knowing that as you breathe your divine essence, it blows in more lubrication for it to flow and to speed up. And that as you hold your divine essence, others near you will entrain with you to people's energy and vibrational field, adding more lubrication for the movement forward for the divine plan. So the best use of your time and your focus is always to stay in your heart. And this will put you in the flow of the moving forward in the proper timing. For you will be holding a resonance as attractive to other people holding the resonance, and they will find you quicker. And you will make a co-creation. You will make a class or a duet that even more people hear, and then there's 10, then there's 20, then it's on Zoom, then there's 1,000 hits. 1,000 souls are lit up and held in your initiative. You initiated this, and then each person that listens to it on their Zoom will light up their family and go to church where it choice every moment. So if we choose and exude this energy as a gift, maybe you're collecting eggs from your hens and putting it in a box and decorating it with glitter. And that becomes such a bountiful gift of love. It lightens up the heart of those that see it and eat that egg. It's living love. Or receiving a gift in the mail with the packages wrapped so beautifully, each one creased and taped with and all beautiful. And the wrapping itself is a massive gift of caring and love. And this showers the receiver with the love of the Creator through you. All is lifted up, every gesture, or helping and supporting at an event and being there, the one behind the scenes, doing all that work, adding more lubrication so that all is well for everyone. These are divine essence lubricants to move everything forward. Think about your part and how powerful it is. And that's why I said you don't have to be a speaker unless you love doing it and you're drawn to it, and that works great. Your part of the clockwork, tick, 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 is to do that which you love and to harness your gifts and do it. When we are being it, it is so easy to do it, and doing it keeps us young, engaged, full of vitality, feeling useful, having a place, space and place. And that will hold us as the consensus reality and things start falling apart. You've created an infrastructure of indelible, impermeable love. And that shall be our hammock to move us, usher us into the new paradigm. Isolation won't work. It is being connected now in circles and sharing resources and love. So take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And let's look at, what do you love to do? Absolutely love to do. And what is your next best step in the realization and getting the train, getting the juice, the fuel in the train so it can begin to move out? Is it little Thomas the Tank Engine? I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I thought I could. I thought I could. That's a life well lived. Move forward to the end of this physical life when you release your body and you meet your maker and you see what you signed up for. You see what gifts you were given, and there is kind of a inventory. There's no right or wrong. It's your soul's lessons. So in this moment today, how can you honor, support, and flow with your mission agreement? Broaden it a little bit and bring more of that lubricant and juice for yourself and for others. Because remember, everything is better together with the right resonant people at this moment in the creation, in the co-creation of a new paradigm. Of course, you can't create it yourself. Of course, you need to inspire and help others unfold with the new designs and come out of isolation and be joyful and reflect their beauty through your eyes, through your words. And they will support you in your beauty and guide and inspire and activate you. So just feel into this big, Swiss, clockwork, precise, divine plan. And think, is there any way that you have been a little hesitant or not quite stepping in to what you know would be a wonderful thing to do next? Okay? So let's address that. And go ahead. I think you're all muted, and repeat after me. I now ask and intend to remove my hesitation, my sense of assuming limitation for these initiatives which I can and wish to bring forward. I release all aspects of fear surrounding this activity, and I replace the vibration with a joyful anticipation and movement forward, knowing I will feel so different as I do. Take a deep breath and implant this sense of beautiful anticipatory joy, accomplishment, and then, of course, we reach a new plateau and say, what's next? That is living. That is vitality. That is bringing life to your doorstep and opening that door to life for all that it offers, more than you ever imagined. Excellent. So now we've removed the fears. So imagine there's a big projector in front of you, a big white projector. We ask and intend to see the precise next expansive step that is the highest good for ourselves and all involved. So let's just take a moment and spend some time with that vision. And take a breath, and it might be colors, words, or an actual movie, and just receive it into your heart. Even if you don't not sure what it is, it will reveal itself like a gift being unwrapped in the next few days. Excellent. We are retraining ourselves to look for the next high point or happy spot through the field of seeing and grace and intuition rather than the outside world. We get to a point where the chocolate, the coffee, drinks, whatever it is we do over and over because it gives us a pleasure sense, that is only 10% of the feeling that we get when we're in divine bliss. It makes all the I don't want to say addictive because they're pleasurable, but sensory pleasure-based activities fall to the wayside when we can hold this state of grace moment to moment to moment. In fact, you see what they are. They never deliver. There's always the next, fancier, bigger chocolate, whatever. It's a constant striving. And it's true in your spiritual path too. The next opening. But it's healthy and it's life-giving and full of vitality, doesn't cost any money, and it doesn't make you sick. Okay, those are all pretty good reasons to focus on your spiritual path, and you're helping the planet, and you're fulfilling your divine contract with the Creator. Go all the way to the zenith. Have you noticed the people that get all the way to the end of the materialistic world, the Beatles, Bezos not there yet, but many of these beings end up turning towards spirituality because they've exhausted every possible way to max out on material or sensory derived things. So if you're watching this, you're on your path, you know the divine plan is coming, and you're doing your part to bring it forward, and you're helping yourself. Every time you have that good thought, every time you do something kind, whew, there it is. There it is. So let me ask you, what is your prompt during the day that brings you back to, in this moment, in this presence, I have a divine, my heart is full of my authentic divine essence. Some people imagine a pearl, a lustery pearl, and they just polish it a little bit. Their heart can be a rose, and they imagine their heart is a rose, and they're a smelling rose. I have some beautiful, beautiful edible rose essence from the North American Spice Company, and I pour it in everything. It's the highest vibration rose. And when I do, I think, the Divine Mother. I am held. I am held like a queen. There's not one calorie. It is actually a sensory experience that is setting the stage for my experience of grace. So you can use a visual prompt, an auditory prompt, sound, olfactory response, smell. Help yourself in every moment, remember, and let the rest go. If your family listens to the television loud, just go into another room. Put earphones in. Put your earphones in with your computer and do your work if you want to spend time with them. There's lots of ways to be in this world, but you're not of it, and you don't need to absorb it. So we're going to finish the talk and meditation now by just holding this information, this energy in our heart. And what I'm seeing is geometries are spinning. Hearts love to hear the truth. They love reminding. And then we put a beautiful golden resilient egg around our entire energy field. It's impermeable. It's an impermeable bubble. Take a nice deep breath and move a little bit. And I'm going to stop the recording and we can talk for a few minutes. And I am Jan Jorgensen at soundandlighthealingarts.com. This is the Be the Light meditation that anyone and everyone is welcome to come at no charge every Wednesday morning. Thank you.